little bit more CT-sided in general. Their T-side does suffer somewhat. Especially up against the likes of some of the better teams. We're into the pistol with x-kom on the CT side and a kit on Stomp. Everybody else taking the armor. Rocking the USPs, of course, the one-tap potential on the board. As Tricked take a bit of utility. Early on, angling towards the A bomb site, but the looks of things, sitting outside of main, and the utility going towards A, but it is going to be a ramp rush, which may have caught Mono by surprise, but he walks away with 2. Stomp comes in on the rotation and helps him out. And with that, the round very quickly descends into chaos for Tricked, as they just get torn apart. I assume they were hoping to drag the rotation from Hell over towards Heaven, but just didn't work. The Stomp was quick to get back over there.
Yeah, that was such a quick pistol round right there. The initial 2 kills from Mono, Stomp then able to take 2 while they're distracted, actually finally trying to get that trade. And then, of course, Mono comes in with that final kill after they eventually take down 1. So a perfect hold pretty much from x-kom. And of course, the opening pistol round going in their favor here on the CT side. Tricked in this round, taking pretty much a full eco. Or it is completely a full eco. They haven't really upgraded anything. I think they have 1 P250 and that's it in the hands of Hunden. So, we know he's an absolute god at fragging. Let's see if he can get anything done with him, Mitch. Do you believe in God Hunden? Can he pull off the ace in this round?
You know what? I don't think he's going to get an ace just because the rest of his team going to come in with the Glocks and do all the damage. This is Tricked 100% of the time getting the win now. No, not really. With a P250 with that armor, you're up against majority SMGs. It's not a round you're going to be winning. Unless there's some serious mistakes made from the CT side of x-kom, which I doubt we'll really see coming through. See what the Lord can do. As Goofy's sitting on the other side of this smoke, swings out with an MP9, and he is going to be taken down by God Hunden himself. Down to a 3 versus 3. Now things get a little bit awkward. The potential for the B bomb site bomb plant as well comes into play, giving Tricked better economy for the next round and an opportunity to actually close this. With a scout in play, Bubsky could get the damage done that would allow Jush to do some of his own. Headshot even connected. It's a 1 versus 2, and already x-kom have sustained a lot of damage, despite the fact that they will probably win this round. Definitely win this round. Great nade, great Kobe in there. And so the defuse is guaranteed. But still, x-kom lose quite a lot more than they wanted to.
Yeah, 3 kills for Tricked. That's a really good result. Hunden getting 1. Couple coming in by Bubsky. That scout shot was incredible towards the end. You can see it there on the replay. Takes the head in midair, but yeah, bomb plant 3 kills. That's a really good result for Trick. They're going to be happy with that. They come into this first gun round now with a very solid buy. They come into also knowing, of course, that x-kom they have to reinvest heavily. Meaning, if Trick do pick up this opening gun round here, then they likely will find a second off the back of it.
Tricked have a very nice opportunity, like you said. Look, the amount of economy invested for x-kom's way more than you want to see. There's something Taco was talking about a good while ago, how when this economy system came out, if you lose the economy system before the most recent one, when you win the second round but you don't survive with like at least 4 players, it just hurts so much. It feels like it favors the other team, even though they're only finding kind of 2-3 kills. It's because of the reinvestment you have to make. Means that this buy round is very much in their favor, and then you've already invested a lot into a pretty bad buy all in all, so they can pull themselves back into it. It kind of depreciates the value of a pistol round all in all. I suppose it reduces a little bit more RNG. The pistol used to give you 3-0 lead. That was a little bit uncharacteristic, I suppose, for a round that can be very much, you know, 50-50 a lot of the times, even with teams that are significantly more advantaged in buy rounds. This is an interesting position from Jaeger. Finds himself 2 as Goofy comes up with the UMP. He might just catch the back of 2. Takes the bomb down with a headshot as well. And despite his teammates falling, now they have to push into the vents up against the UMP, which isn't a position that anybody's going to be a fan of. Oh, makes it out there.
He gets it. That's some ninja moves there from Bubsky. Can they get the round win, though? 10 seconds. They have to deal with Jedker, of course, who was still alive towards the bomb site, able to peek out from Hunt and take 1. Sure, Akar gets that kill down there in the vent, but of course with 3 seconds left, Jedker realizes he just has to skedaddle. He skedaddles away the ramp, lives through the time. Akar at least saves the op. But of course, that is the opening gun round going in favor of x-kom, and a 3-0 start coming in. That hold from Jedker in general, he just locked that A-bomb site down.
Yeah, absolutely. Did a fantastic job throughout the round. Dropping that bomb was really what propelled them into a state of calm. They didn't have to worry about it too much. Bomb couldn't bounce. There were no overextensions and played perfectly. 0 lead now. Trick to avoid getting their rounds on the board early on in what could have been a free round. Coming into this though, they do fully invest, taking AKs and AWP alongside an SMG and a Deagle. And you can see x-kom have done much the same, so if Tricked can pull this round off, they may see the same benefit. Just with the kind of caveat that x-kom, of course, have 3 rounds now instead of 2. But building the T-side rounds up can be important. Would it be nice to see them win the pistol round to get some rounds on the board early on, without having to worry too much about the buy rounds that they may lose later on. Things smokes towards outside, but unsure as to whether we're going to see commitment towards there. Borup's out to just really sell this fake Molotov towards Secret. He's got utility to expend. Now x-kom can't peek out and make sure that they're not going Secret. They have to play a much more passive game. Relax a little bit, and Tricked are about to explode out onto the A bomb site with utility coming in through the windows above.
Yeah, it's a decent enough setup for x-kom, but if one of these players in the crossfire gets taken down quickly, then it's going to become so difficult for the second one. He would get overwhelmed very easily. Luckily enough, Oscarish finds the first. They actually don't really seem to know that he's in behind this vent. He got a second kill, so they should eventually, but no! They keep just putting their back to him. Eventually, Aiko realizes, okay, there's a guy in that corner, but it's too late, Mitch. It's over. Stump comes in with that final kill. It's 4-0 for x-kom, and another gun round goes in their favor. That was a buy, of course, from Trick, and now they're in a tough position. They don't really have enough to get the investment. Oh, just gonna go for the quasi buy. Get some pistols in Kevlar. Not really too much being invested into, but they do spend the excess cash at least. But yeah, that's a tough round. There's some problems with communication, I suppose, because it definitely should have been called that he was towards the vent multiple times.
Yeah, indeed. You can't let a player just sit there and get that much damage done without getting the reactions onto it. Cause some problems. While he goes in, this is going to force them out in the open. Goofy would have had free reign. Now by the Molotov. Puts them into a 4v4 and Tricked potentially again getting the bomb plant down. As they move in, Stump looks away from open access. Ollie towards double. Nate comes in. Now Mono knows exactly where the bomb is as Lord Hunden tries to peek out. Bit of danger. An AWP from Stomp, making sure that Mono doesn't have to worry about anything except that single door. Molotov in play though, pushes it open. Hunden trying to get the kill, and indeed lands it with the CZ. Now all he has to do is cross and get that bomb down, and they stand a very good chance of actually taking this round by forcing the CTs into taking the close range combat. But they still have plenty of time. As they waste that down, you can see x-kom getting a little bit hesitant. They're not 100% sure that this is in fact going to be hit. See him so, as the bomb starts to rotate up towards A. Sadly, Jedker is already in a really nice position. Catch them crossing over unless they decide to check the door.
Yeah, coming around into main. As you said, though, this position from Jedker is just so strong. He's been doing a good job of just moving around on this A-bomb site. Always been in a new position, and every single time he seems to be able to find at least 2 to 3 frags. He holds it down there, of course, very easily. You can see the replay now on your screen. Only taking a bit of damage in the process. Takes all 3 as they try and cross over. And with that now, 5-0. Trick, though, of course, they didn't full buy into that previous round. This is where they get the full investment. Up coming out, rifles and utility across the board. But they need to start picking up some rounds now because x-kom are just looking pretty dominant to start things off. Although, of course, one positive is there's been damage done consistently, so the economy for x-kom hasn't built up at all, really.
Indeed. Look, 5-0 isn't an unusual scoreline to see the CTs walk away with, especially when they win the pistol round. I think exactly what you mentioned there, Dean. The fact that there is such a weak economy on the CT side means that Tricks still have a very good chance of clocking up 2 rounds. All they have to do is win 1. Problem is, losing these opening picks and going down by 2 men puts them in such a negative position overall in the round. Even if they do manage to peek in and find an opening kill, they're still behind bomb plant will secure better economy for the next round, but again, the retake is still very likely to come through in favor of x-kom, no matter what site you're on. Well, particularly A, but bomb site gives you a lot of access as a CT coming down if you've got the man advantage to play with. Checking towards the vents here, Jedker can feel them dropping down. He sees the feet. He knows that they're on their way. 3 now spotted going down. The info is all in the hands of Goofy, who waits, lets them go out, finds one, stomps there with the AWP. And with that, the round is over. Without a single casualty, we talked about the economy not building up. Sadly, x-kom remedy that. And this just starts to lock Tricked out of it more and more.
And not being able to find the bomb plant for Tricked as well is a big issue. If they're going to keep losing rounds, they at least need the bomb plant so that they can consistently buy. Otherwise, it's going to be alternating rounds, one with a full buy and then one with a purchase up like this where they just have pistols, Kevlar and a bit of utility. Certainly not ideal. Molotov on the cross there is going to at least slow down the push from the T side, but it's only 8 core. And he actually is going to be able to make his way into Secret either way. So right now, he's just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. See if he can pull rotations elsewhere on the map and allow for his teammates to maybe catch someone out of place.
There's Jaker finding one at least, catches them out. A second, a third on offer, but he doesn't redeem the coupon in time. He stomps there to return it and leave A-Core all alone. He won't be catching anyone off this round, Dean. 7-0. That round is pretty much going as predicted. But here's where Tricked have the opportunity. Full AKs and AWP in play as well. They need to find it now, because if they don't start to clock up rounds, then this is just going to keep on happening. Jaker in there. 10 for 0? 10 for 0? That just didn't come up. He has 2 deaths on the board.
Some issues.
Indeed.
But yeah, 7-0 right now. We of course had a pretty one-sided map just before this series started. It was 16-0 for alternate attacks on the second map. And it's certainly not a great start right now for Tricked. They're not putting up a great performance so far, but it's still relatively early days. If they can bring this up to 5 or 6 rounds on the T side, just grind that out, then of course they will still be in an okay position, but that's not the start of this round that they would have been looking for. A quick opening pick comes in from Stump. And it looks like he wants to remain active around this position. Eventually rather decides against it. And we can see continuous trades coming in towards Hell. It's a 3-on-3. Make that a 3-on-2 now. Bubsky able to catch Jedker out of position.
With Oscarich going down, this gets very scary. Only the AWP left alive. Coming up the fence. It's the fight with the P250 on the ladder. It doesn't work out for him as Tricked finally get around on the board. Stomp with AWP here. Taking down 8 core. Things were looking good, but the opening kill again going towards x-kom. But it wasn't destined to be, sadly. Tricked, pull it back, find one on the board. At least this makes it a little bit more competitive now. x-kom gonna really have to fight for it because they're down to their last legs of their economy after only 1 loss, despite having the Brazil in their favor.
Yeah, as I had said, and I think it was a couple rounds before, they hadn't really built up any money at all. Finally built up a small amount to give them the 1 buy, as you can see, but it's still a pretty awkward position. If Trick pick this one up, then they should be getting a 3rd round off the back of it, which of course then is a solid recovery and a chance for them to bring it up to a number they can be happy with. And there we go, an opening kill from 8 core. Bubsky's actually creeped out in behind the vent as well right now, and I don't think they have any idea about that.
It doesn't quite look like it. Nobody really reacting to his presence just yet. Tricked have yet to really gain direction. They're mainly hinging on this pick. Mono spotted them out, but still loses it. And now with control and the ability to go up towards heaven. Imagine they would take things to A with the players still lurking there. But as he goes down vents, Lubsky indicates to us that Goofy's going to be in danger very soon. Players coming down! Oh, he's unable to hit the shot. As Jush was swung out wide, but he went in for the kill on 8 core, who tucked behind the wall just in time. Pre-cog play for himself. I could feel he was about to be shot. Or he was just checking the close right corner, one or the other. I think it's more likely that he's, oh, how have I forgotten that word? People that can see into the psychic. That's the one.
I wasn't even sure what you were going for, to be honest.
A precog. Yeah. So precog's a reference to Tom Cruise movie.
Okay.
It's a.
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't even remember the one, but they're like people that can see into the future, and they predict crimes before they happen. So you like go and arrest someone before they kill someone because they were going to. It's a nutty movie, and then he gets framed for killing someone.
Interesting.
Pretty good.
Actually sounds like a solid plot. But yeah, 7-2. As I said, Trick been able to take that round win right there, puts x-kom in a tough position. They're probably just going to take the eco. They have the 2 rifles saved, at least a couple pistols being upgraded. But this should be Trick picking up a 3rd round win for themselves, and slowly but surely they've begun to build their way back into this game.
The Minority Report is the name of the movie. It's a great movie.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you gotta. It's pretty Gucci. Well, the chances for x-kom walking away with this are not too good. At least starts off well for Mono. He's got the head peek potential. Stomp, being baited 4. He's able to claim 1 with the Deagle. In come his teammates. Jedgar gets 1. Mono still head peeking. Eventually going to lose his. Man advantage for x-kom doesn't last too long with Jedgar down on 11 HP. Let's put them in a bit of an awkward spot, but 2 AUGs still in play. The potential's definitely in the CT's court right now. Remember, a full buy still going to come through from x-kom in the next round, so this damage is fantastic from them, forcing the reinvestment from the T's. Tricked. 2 rounds on the board, 7 for 2 isn't bad if they win this one. It puts them up to 3. That's an okay scoreline. They'll still have a chance to get maybe another 1 or 2 on the board afterwards. If they get to 5, they'll be feeling happy. Oscarish goes down, though, and now it's Jedgar. This is a really difficult decision for him because he's got very little HP, but only 2 players to take down. It looks like he's going to be committing.
Yeah, that position from Oscarish was really the one that could have won them the round. Bubsky, he charges through the doors, and sadly that's into his death as the AUG was waiting on the other side, but it's still a one-on-one now. The HP solo for Jedgar, he is at least up against an op, but he doesn't currently have a defuse kit, which means that time is already working heavily against him. The timing, though, almost works in his favor, but as he doesn't find the kill right there, I don't think this is going to be too doable. Closes the door, taps the bomb, gonna actually force it to be open, then he spams through, gets the dink, but not the frag. And with that now, the round, of course, over and done. No time for the defuse to come in. Jedgar gonna try and escape. Oh, that could have costed him, but I think he may still live. Yeah, he will actually escape without taking any more damage. So, an AUG at least being carried over. He done a good job. He actually caused a lot of damage. No one on the Trick side survived. So he really got the best of, well, I suppose the best of one world at least. He got to do the damage. He got to keep his gun. And it means coming into this round, their buy is slightly better than it would have been otherwise. But it's still not going to be great. You can see averaging just around 4,500 or so.
It's really sad that he doesn't have an extra $100 to purchase up that AWP for his teammate. Drop it over. Gonna have to invest in the utility. Oscarish. I think, you know what? I think that despite how, Oscarish didn't get one of the kills there, he lost that out. So well played for Jedgar. You could see the point where he changes his mind and goes, okay, I'm not defusing this bomb. There's no way I have this. I'm not going to run away and save, though. I'm going to close that door. I'm going to fake the defuse, hold an off angle, and keep him here. No matter what, he's not getting out alive with that AWP. And the reinvestment in this round, like you said, Ian, is going to be stellar. Tricked. If to buy so much. Some of the replays from Mono in the pistol round. He managed to walk away with 3. Stomp came in to help him out. The team play from x-kom from then on has just been on the board. On an individual level, and indeed as a unit, they've been functioning. Trick starting to clock rounds up at last. Does give them the opportunity. Certainly have a good T-side. I think 5 rounds, considering how things started out, is going to be just fine for them. If they can get there.
Yeah, definitely. This is a buy here from x-kom either way, but it's, again, as I said, not going to be great. They have an op, but it's glass cannon on Stump. Utility-wise, they don't really have too much to work with. And it's a good opportunity here for Trick if they take this round, as you said, to bring it up to that 5th. And there we go, actually. It's actually x-kom who find the opening frag. Jedgar takes a lot of damage, but drops Bubsky in the process. And Bubsky has kind of been the player who so far is, I guess, functioned as a little bit of a lurker. He's been pressuring across the map, doing so on his own, pretty much. So, of course, there's not really much of a chance for a trade to come in as he had no one nearby.
And it's a decent frag to have to start it out. Certainly avoiding the trades is where you want to be on the CT side. Or avoiding getting traded. You don't want to avoid trading your teammates. It's always a good idea. But again, Trick gain control of outside and make their way towards heaven. No x-kom players to really help out in this regard, so they're going to have to take the fight from sight. Didn't work out for Anakin, but it might just work out for the CTs because Mono's stopping them from going up heaven. He's actually baited them towards the ramp, done a lot of damage on the Hunden as well. So with the man advantage in play, also the HP advantage swings firmly in favor of x-kom. Edgar and Hunden both below 25 HP.
Yeah, Baruch is in a decent position, though. They also have, of course, potential to get that control in towards heaven. Looks like they will probably eventually end on this A bomb site, but they need to be careful. Jedker, it seems like he has the info. They're actually going to be spotting heaven. Of course, Oscarish able to find the opening, but he will be traded back. And as we can see, Stump being forced into the hut, retreat and giving up the bomb site. Probably for the best. They have to just try and play for the retake, but as he attempts to cross, Akor shuts him down with the op. There's one in heaven, one coming from the hut now. Can x-kom pull off the retake or not is the question. It's all onto Akor, and it's Goofy from heaven who gets it all done. The retake is successful, even without the kit. Plenty of time, of course, for the defuse to come in. And finally, x-kom get another round on the board. But Trick, they got a bomb plant. They have a decent amount of money in the reserve. They're going to be buying again.
Back in though. Good to go. Rolling with the punches as x-kom are 8. Starting to feel a little bit of hurt here. They can't find this round. Economy comes into question a little. Actually, no, the economy system why still going to be possible because loss bonus. Oh, it's so hard to keep track of this. You know what? Did you notice in when you play the game, you have a tracker that shows you
the tracker, yeah, but not when you're casting.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And you know what the worst thing is? I mostly cast on like ESEA/ESL servers, so we don't get to see even the round tracker, let alone round loss bonus that they're currently on. We don't even have the round tracker, so it makes things so difficult. Gotta keep HLTV open at all times. But yeah, right now not looking good for Tricked in this round anyway. They don't have full loss bonus because they did, of course, win 3 in a row, so I think they'll be getting like 2,400 into this next round. So they could get a decent enough buy if they wanted. But let's see. Still a 2-on-5. There's some chance for them to redeem themselves. But sadly, Stump quickly find Akor, leaving Hunden now as the last man standing, and they should have a general idea about where he is.
Indeed, they did. Taking him down, dealing with him. 9-3. I mean, Tricked, I'm still looking at them. I want them to claim 5 rounds here, but this is coming up to their last chance. They're very close to full loss bonus. But it's not going to matter too much. I mean, they need to take this round. They go fast towards A. It's a bit of a change of pace for them for sure. Jedker gets cut off, so too does Goofy. And although Oscarish manages one, a man disadvantage for the CTs ensues. That Molotov towards heaven. The nade onto Oscarish as well. This is beautiful. x-kom completely locked out of the bomb site. And Tricked have pretty much all but claimed themselves around at this point.
Yeah, and it's a bit of an issue for x-kom really, because they didn't build up all that much loss bonus. They lost 3 in a row, 1-1. So they are going to be only, I believe, getting 2,400 now into this next round, or rather actually 1,900. So a little bit of an awkward position for them to be in right now. It won't really give them the full buy, although they should be able to get it as long as they save these 2 weapons over. You can see, of course, Stomp holding, I guess, to see if he can get a couple of exit frags and do some damage to Tricked, but definitely wouldn't be worthwhile. So, luckily enough for him, Tricked are going to make their way out through the T-spawn, the side that they have the control on. And that is going to be Tricked finding a fort. If they can bring this up to 6, they're putting themselves in a great position, especially considering they were down 7-0, I believe, at one point. That CT model looks massively like John Cena.
It actually does. I can see it. Definitely. Oh, that looks nasty. The way his neck moves when he turns, that does not look healthy. He needs to go to a chiropractor.
Yeah, it's probably all the slams and stuff from the wrestling, you know? It's his spare time. He's a counter-terrorist here in Counter-Strike otherwise. But yeah, 9-4 right now. It's been a good recovery from Trick so far, but can they bring it back to a solid position? Can they completely neutralize that initial lead that x-kom had? And that's a decent start. Hunden actually finds the opening frag, taking down Oscarish and giving them an opening now for what looks to be a hit towards the B bomb site. Jedkodo getting aggressive. Should hear those footsteps. It's a little bit of info to work with. He's actually gone back to get the bomb, so where's the bomb going to be taken is the question. It looks like it will actually make its way towards outside. Problem is, Goofy's actually spotting this. He has a good position, gets the opening headshot. Sush goes down, and suddenly it's a 4-on-4. One, luckily enough, is being found by Bubsky, and Hunden kind of holding off the vents for the moment. Goes up towards A. That's an interesting choice. Doing so on his own, there's no one nearby that can actually try and help him. A little bit of a miss. x-kom really 3-on-3, but the damage that's been done on the Bubsky makes it a favorable position rather for x-kom. Right now the pace is kind of being slowed down. 30 seconds remaining. They need to hurry up and get this bomb onto the site, and so far they are struggling to do so. Goofy catches one outside the bomb now, actually sprinting down onto B. Should eventually be planted, but Goofy's following in with a quick flank. He may be the one that can potentially shut this down. The bomb at least will actually be put in place. That's a bit of extra loss bonus, at the very least, $800 rather for Trick, but we're up now. He's left with the task of trying to clutch it. 1v3 is what he needs to pull off, and although he finds the first frag, that's all that's allowed. Defuse is going to come in easily for Goofy, and that's x-kom finding double digits. 10-4. Trick, if they can bring it to 5, I think they will still be actually pretty happy with that result, especially considering how things started off. And then if they can come in, pick up that pistol, get off to a solid start, and I think they'll be in a pretty solid position.
Well, 10-4 as we stand. Trick looking to get a 5th up. What I wanted to see from them since the beginning, or since the first couple of rounds swung so heavily in favor of x-kom. With the pistol under their belt, but if Trick had had the pistol under their belt, I'd feel a little bit more inclined to say this is a bad half. But considering they lost the pistol, I think 5 is fine. Spam on the cross, not going to be landed for Goofy. Bubsky already down in the vents, make sure that Secret's now clear, so they're able to close in the distance towards this B-bomb site. The rotation's already coming down as Goofy finds one. He's going to be instantly traded out by the AWP. Mono now starts the rotation from the ramp. All the CTs trying to make their way down here as they now know it's going to be a full commitment towards that B-bomb site. Hunden, cautious of crossing. He knows they could be on the ramp. He knows they could be peeking him. The utility's already out. Stomp making sure that there's no one creeping up behind ramp. They're going to group together, and they're all 4 players coming from the same angle on the CT side. A sea of blue is about to wash over the T side. But will the Waves be able to make a big enough impact, or will they simply retreat back to where they came from with their 10 rounds? As Jush peeks around the red box, he's going to spot the head of Mono coming out. Wow, he's got another as well. Down goes Oscarish. Acor's helping out with the AWP. As Stomp tries to get the work done, he's flashbanged up close. Quick shot with the AWP. Lands in 1. He's got 2 more players to deal with. Nade goes in. No low HP on Acor, though. Oh, he finds it! Hunden, low HP. The bomb, though, no time. Although Hunden may fall. Actually, it doesn't even. Bomb was sure to explode, as indeed it did. 10-5 as we close things out here. And Tricked getting the rounds in the end. I feel like, being as they didn't win the pistol round, 5 rounds is about as much as you could reasonably expect. They probably could have gotten a little bit more, got up to around 6, but still a decent scoreline overall considering the pistol went to x-kom.
Yeah, as I said, that it is something they can be pretty happy with, but without the pistol, I think coming into the second half, then they are going to be just in such a tough position because x-kom, they'll have a pretty massive lead to work with. You can see right now, Stomp leading the charge, 17-9. Over on the Tricked side, it's Bubsky who's currently top fragging with 12. be interesting to see who's going to be able to step up over on the CT side. Right now, Syush, he's I don't know, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, Mitch. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah, the newcomer to Tricked, he is kind of struggling to start things off here on Nuke. Hopefully, the CT side is somewhere where he'll be a little bit more comfortable.
LOOT.BET, made for live betting.
Welcome back, everybody. 10-5 was the scoreline we left you on, as the T side of x-kom now need only 6 to find the victory. Thing is, if they do find the pistol round, that is a very much plausible scoreline for them. But I think Tricked have done well to pull it back to 5, considering how the half started out for them for sure. The pistol round is going underway, and we already see Mono and Oscarish taking a lot of utility, most of it already deployed towards the A bomb site. But again, it does seem to be Ramp that is going to be the afflicted defense.
Yeah, kind of similar play, I guess, coming in from x-kom on their T side as we've seen from Tricked. But so far, at least, it has definitely been a lot more successful for x-kom. A 3-on-3 is the position that they have to work with. Hunden from Heaven, given a bit of an opportunity to shoot down the ladder, but sadly unable to connect. It was definitely a tough spot to be in. And with that now, x-kom, they have 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. They can pretty much take this anywhere they want, but they are just going to actually commit straight to B. And the problem is, Barup is ready. 2 quick headshots come in, and Mono is now left as the last man standing. Oh, and he gets absolutely wrecked.
Destroyed, distraught, and starting to close the gap. x-kom are now in a little bit of trouble. With the pistol round swinging towards Tricked, we've seen how this half can snowball in the past. This is a very interesting buy from the CTs. Nothing that's future-proof coming through. SMGs and 2 scouts to start us off, and the scout damage trade begins right down middle as Stomp and A-Core bring each other down low. I've not seen this before, Dean. I've not seen a team completely neglect to take rifles in a round like this.
Yeah, it's certainly not too common, because it can definitely be dangerous. Also, it's difficult to make all the money back from those SMGs, but they do have 2 scouts. So I guess kind of the idea is get the damage in with those scouts early on, allow for the SMGs to have a really easy time. But early on, at least, a lot of damage has been exchanged by either side. You can see A-Core down low, Stomp and Oscarish also weakened up massively. And for now, we do see x-kom kind of taking their time on outside and slowly but surely just being chipped away at. Hunden a little bit adventurous there with his attempted jumping UMP. Oh, now it's getting dangerous. Stomp picking up a quick headshot. Hunden taking a dink. They need to be very cautious here. They don't want to be taking too many casualties here, especially since they went for those weaker weapons and have pretty much fully invested on the back of them.
Well, the kills at least go down for them, but I mean, in a situation like that, you can't really afford to lose anything. At least the SMGs can be dropped over to the 2 players that died, A-Core and Hunden. And then you can have the rifles bought up by 2 players. But it's still going to be a really weak buy compared to what x-kom are rocking into this round with. For what x-kom might be, they might even go for the eco, considering they won't have a lot of utility to back up the AKs they do get out. And even Stomp and Oscarish would have to neglect to buy head armor in order to grab AK-47. So definitely the potential for the eco to come out of the T side. They have the rounds to mess around with. But if they do that, then it's 10-8. That's a scary scoreline for Trick to start to close in on, especially considering that, you know, Trick kind of look better statistically on the next 2 maps. x-kom don't really play Dust a whole lot. They played it once. And the defeats are never too significant whenever they do find themselves over on Train. So, but the thing is still, Tricked are the more favored team on Train, all in all. So I think that if If Tricked are able to come, excuse me, come back into this and actually find a victory, that would favor them 2-0, 100%. x-kom need to hold on to this. I'm intrigued as to whether they go for the eco and they don't. That's a very risky play as well. As much as you'd like to see them take the eco and put it 10-8, or potentially for it to go 10-8. The thing is here, if they lose this one, then it's 10-8 anyways. They've no money for the next, so it's 10-9, and then the scoreline really starts to get close. Frick.
Ooh, goofy though, straight from the drop, I guess, off a silo down into a main. Takes the opening kill, a quick trade from Bubsky, but right now it's a troublesome position. The amount of damage that has actually been done, though, is quite ridiculous. Oscarish, Mono, and Jedgar all barely hanging on to life. Barup somehow still alive in this corner. But as we can see now, the frags continue to come in. The remaining players for Trick also barely hanging on to life. Basushi gets 3! What is that? Goes ahead of the smoke. They should have an idea about where Barup is. And Oscarish actually gets him through the smoke. What a crazy round.
A round of ups and downs, that's for sure. My god, 2 huge individual plays to come through so quickly. I mean, they started out well by finding the opening kill. They get it extended even further, but look at that play from Borb. All the damage done for his teammates. Come in there and find the kills, but just as quickly, it's brought back over to the T side. Now claimed at 11-7 and brought things through through what can only be described as a miracle to counter a miracle. They've got a 4-round lead and the potential certainly for a 5-round lead, as Tricked again should be taking an eco here.
Yeah, they pretty much have to. There's not really a chance for them to invest much at all. Take the full eco, get the buy in the next round, although even with that, Barup is going to be on a bit of a limited investment. He'll be probably sitting on the likes of a shotgun, a FAMAS, something along those lines, maybe an SMG if he wants. So it should be 12-7 for x-kom before we really see too much coming out from Tricked. Of course, this is the map choice of x-kom. Tricked had a tough start, but since then have begun to definitely recover things. But of course, that lead that x-kom had early on gives them a nice little, I guess, purity blanket.
A security blanket would be an interesting product.
Something that you use to protect yourself, you know? It's there, it's wrapped around you, it's making you feel safe. But
is it just the illusion
it can get pulled away very quickly. Yeah, it's not actually.
Oh, okay.
It does give them some comfort though. But it can very quickly go away.
I was imagining like just a blanket of sheet metal.
I mean, if that's what you want, but I mean, blankets are meant to be comfy. That doesn't sound very comfy.
So they're meant to be comfy. Let's see
I think that's kind of the point of them. Keep you warm as well. I don't think sheet metal will keep you warm.
No, probably not. Depends if it's heated.
Okay, yeah, but you're
burn you,
probably going to get some burns from it.
Potentially.
It's a good idea. Let's heat this metal up and lie under it.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't say it's safe. It is. Keep you safe. Keeps you safe from everything but burns. You see the, there's actually a thing, a whole line of, this is an eco from Trick, so this should be, pending no miracle, 12-7. There's actually a line of clothing, which is bulletproof, but it looks just like normal clothes. People pay like thousands and thousands of dollars for it. They go and you can even buy like a more expensive package, where you get to go to the place, and the guy who designs it shoots you while you wear it.
Why are you paying someone to shoot you?
That was the like main question. I was watching a documentary and it was in it, and they were like, "But why would you want to be shot?" They were like, "So you never get to experience being shot." It's like, that's a good thing. That's no one's ever complained and went, "Oh, I've never been stabbed." Do you know that? Damn, I just haven't lived a good life.
Yeah, don't have battle scars. But yeah, this round pretty important for Trick. That goes without saying. If they lose this one, x-kom likely looking at a 14-7 lead, and at that point, I think Nuke is pretty much over and done with. So let's see if they can step it up here. The Danish players, Nuke, it's a good combo usually, but right now not really working out for them too well.
Yeah, you could say that for sure. A 5-round lead for x-kom. I mean, they are still on the T side, so the potential for this to fall apart at any moment, especially with their economy not built up too strongly right now. But Tricked, well, the other side of the coin, right, is that if x-kom win this round, Tricked have no money, and then they're almost on 14. So this is a huge opportunity for this T side to close it out, or to bring themselves ridiculously close to closing it out. Only 7 on the board for Tricked, and it's going to be a ramp push again.
Tough position for Hunden. It's a spot there really where he may, if he's, I guess, on point, get a couple of kills, but likely he gets one and gets traded because there's nowhere to fall back to. Of course, on the other hand, Shush did have somewhere to fall back to. He quickly went down ramp and left Hunden. Like, sorry, boss, but you're on your own.
Good luck with those guys. 4 versus 4. It still favors x-kom on the T side as they close in the distance. But Tricked already starting to rotate down. Rush finds one onto Oscarish as well. The peak coming towards the window. Oh, you're not in the smoke, Jetker! He gets taken down out in the open. He thought he was planting in a completely concealed smoke, but that was not the case. But on time it ends. With the bomb not being able to be planted inside that smoke, that is just a... Look at that. He jumped in just a little bit too far.
Yeah, it was a big win there for Tricked. x-kom have fully bought into this. It's not a perfect buy, but it's pretty solid overall. An op, 3 AKs, and then the 1 Deagle on Oscarish. So they definitely can still make this one work, but this is the chance here for Tricked. If they take this round win, then x-kom have to take an eco, then you see Tricked likely taking double digits. At that point, there'll only be 2 in the difference, meaning it comes down to pretty much 1 gun round deciding if Tricked can equalize the score. So it's definitely a tough position for x-kom to be in, but as you see Acor open things up, it makes it even tougher for them. This round not looking great to start things off. There's still a lot of time on the clock, but they do have a 4 versus 5 disadvantage.
Well, here come the smokes towards outside again. The Molotov from Hunden stop one of them and leave a little bit of a gap. It's not huge though. Not swinging out far enough to spot the beast, but oh, Oscarish returns it straight through the smoke. Just traces the tracers. And I'm already Winston.
Wrong game, Mitch.
Oh, damn, sorry. Got the wrong tab open, my bad. Watching Overwatch League in the background. Not really. Good games.
Yeah, okay. Good to know. Good to know, Mitch.
like this one. This is a pretty sweet one. AWP for Stomp. 8Ks to back it up. And Oscarish has got the flank. Although it's a trade, I mean, unnecessary, I suppose. Well, not unnecessary. You had to peek him right to make sure he's not looking towards heaven. But it's unfortunate that they managed to lose him. The chance for the bomb denial certainly doesn't come through. They play a little bit too slow to stop that, and Goofy just catches them coming up the vents. Eliminates them, vaporizes them. Even only Acor with an AWP, and 1 versus 3 retake with an op. He's not feeling it, especially not with the economy of his teammates.
Yeah, nah, this is going on to eco now, likely from Tricked. And then at that point, x-kom finding a 14th. It's going to be, it's going to have to be rather from that point forward. Then when the guns come out again for Tricked, pretty much perfection, flawless play from that point forward. Otherwise, they're just going to be losing 1 and at least giving over overtime. They're giving the map point to x-kom. And even at that point, then, if they haven't taken at least a few rounds before losing that 1, then they'd likely be put down to a very weak buy. So this is a tough position for them to try and come back into this. I think x-kom finally getting towards that finish line. They struggled a little bit. They had a bit of a hiccup in the middle. But they're beginning to regain control now, I would say.
Regaining control is certainly the way you would look at it. Tricked now behind by quite a margin. And their buy is not reflective of one that's favored in this matchup. Borup, what are you doing? Comes out with an MP9 and a double kill. Bubsky already found one with the Mag 7. And all of a sudden it's a 2v4. x-kom massively behind. Stush going out for the peak with the scout, but he's pushed off the angle by the Molotov, which means it should more than likely be a plant towards the B bomb site. I don't think anybody was down there just yet. Plenty of time for them to rotate now. Stomp tries to catch off a flanker. Unable to find anybody. Now giving up the kind of element of surprise that they had. With 1 minute on the clock, though, they do have plenty of opportunities. Plenty of time to potentially catch a player off guard.
I'm gonna go down, but it's not really too big of an issue you wouldn't imagine for Tricked. Problem is they don't actually have a defuse, cause so this could still get pretty awkward. Bomb's only gone down, they're already in position really to try and initiate this retake min, and hopefully time won't be too big of an issue, but we will of course see Mono in a decent position playing towards Dark, waiting to see if he can pounce and catch someone off guard, and he does indeed towards Akar. Problem is Akar from the grave with the molly gets one, and now Mono left in the 1-on-3 gets the first, looking to try and play the angles, gets the second, and comes in with the clutch. 14 for x-kom, Mono with a massive quad kill. And that's the issue with the no defuse kit, and also with no utility to try and flush him out of that corner.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, a round of multi-kills. Trick did so well to pull ahead, but Mono, in essentially a 1v4, as Stomp got Molotov to death. Just absolutely beautifully played. Getting down to that final kill, stopping the defuse and making sure that everything went the way of x-kom. 14-8. This is a scoreline not reflective of a team with a good chance to win this. The flashbang is good, but behind the smokes, x-kom are able to retreat, allowing for Mono to come in and deal the damage on the players from above. Raining down fiery bullets. It's only Borup 1v4 with a USP, and the chances of this clutch happening, I think, are safe to say 0.
It's pretty close to 0. He's maybe giving himself a percentage or two. Okay, hang on. Give it a second. He hasn't even got a gun yet. And they're just all dying to him. This could get dangerous. Oscarish on 46 health. If he goes down, it gets dangerous. Luckily enough, he doesn't. Unfortunately for him as well, Goofy came in just on time to give him the help that was needed. You said 0% and you almost jinxed him, Mitch.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was thinking when I saw him start to connect those shots. I was like, okay, he gets one. He's been flanked from both sides. Oh, another on the board. I was like, I can see it now. Yeah, chance to win at pretty much 0 wins the round. Like, that's what happens. Happens when you call a player out. Borup with a great performance in the USB. And sadly, it wasn't a buy round. He could have gotten a whole lot more done if it wasn't just a base pistol. 15-8 at this point. x-kom 1 round away from victory, and you have to say this map should be all but over. Pending, I mean, Trick could come back into it. I don't want to say they can't with 7 rounds in a row, but it's just very unlikely considering how things have played out so far. Even when they've had the 4v1, they've lost it to Mono in the newest position after 1 kill. So you're just waiting for an eventual round that comes through where individuality wins out. Nice trade for Hunden at least. Did the damage, and the Molotov was able to finish off. Low HP as well on Goofy. This could be around the Trick to manage to pull off.
Ooh, Akar on the angle. He's able to pretty easily connect that shot on the Oscarish. He was looking to try and venture back up. He had the control in secret, but as we could see, x-kom, they changed their mind. They wanted to split onto the A-bomb site, and it cost them a player in the process, so this could get a little bit awkward. Goofy very low on health as well. They're looking to just try and go through the smoke, and actually Goofy able to get around the bomb site somehow. He acts as a distraction, but it doesn't matter. Bubsky, he comes in with 2. Akar was able to deal with the distraction on the bomb site. And with that now, a 9th round finally being found for Trick, but they still have 6 more to go just to take it into overtime.
Yeah, it is a long road. This was really nice from Bubsky. You know, to spam through the smoke as well to find that final one. 6 rounds in a row isn't impossible. Again, it's just about how x-kom have been playing so far. This round at least sees them with a force buy. So Tricked with the potential to take this to 11. They win this one. Should be an eco from x-kom, and at that point, this could become very much doable for Trick. They lose a player early on, though. No problem trading it back as Borup finds 2. Reloading, though. He's being covered. The kill doesn't come in for Stomp, who was up behind. He had taken Bubsky down. This round could have swung firmly in favor of x-kom. Low HP on both himself and Borup. Sadly, it's not to be, and with Mono falling as well, it's all onto Oscarish. All he has to do is find the bodies of 3 players, but it's not going to happen at all. Bubsky makes sure of it. Playing very aggressively with such low HP, I have to say. But it works out nonetheless. 15 to 10. And look at the money for the T side. The eco comes through. Tricked on double digits and about to win one more.
Yeah, and then at that point, there should only be 4 rounds in the difference. Maybe 2, maybe 3 of them being gun rounds. So it's definitely a doable position here for Tricked, but it's going to be tough. We've seen so far x-kom have had rounds where they just have their players step up so massively individually, and even without that, then they do seem to have a pretty decent understanding. It is a strong map for them, of course. So you still have to be somewhat worried for Tricked, but at least this round should be pretty easy. Emphasis on should, because it can always go wrong at points, and they've actually already managed to creep down into the vents. They did leave Oscarish nearby, but as we can see, it still seems like it's going to be dealt with pretty easily.
And you'd imagine it would be. Realistically, this is a very one-sided round from the start. x-kom on the Glocks. Very few people lose to them. Get very mad when they do. This, of course, being a replay. Back in that round, Borup finding himself 1. Bubsky, do we see the swing around? Yeah, look at this. Stomp from behind. Doesn't manage to connect the kill. That was a really important frag for them. All the way through the round. There you go. So, 15 to 11. Here's where x-kom have a chance. They've got a full buy. They've got utility. And they're on the verge of clocking up a 1-0 victory. So long as Trick don't stop them in their tracks. Already attempting a bit of an aggressive hold towards outside. Hunden might be onto something.
Yeah, Hunden up close. It's a decent position to catch someone off guard, but if multiple players come towards this spot, if they go over the silo at the same time, then he is pretty much a sitting duck. And as you can see, Oscarish right now is up on top of the silo, so it could get dangerous. But for now, anyway, x-kom, they're taking their time, just holding this default and preparing for what eventually does look like it is going to be perhaps an A split. I think they want to get some outside control, but maybe don't take it towards secret. Instead, wrap around in through main. I feel like that may be what they're looking to do. And yeah, it looks like the initial smoke going to be thrown towards garage in a moment. Stop any oppers from being able to spot it.
And then now with the push coming out, he's in danger if they check up close. It looks like Jedgar's going to be doing that and takes his head off. Into a 5 versus 4. A man advantage now for the T side. The aggression just doesn't work out for Hunden, unfortunately. But Bubsky's got the angle. He's up above, leaning down on the T's. And he finds 2. Fortunately, again, the trade's going to play, which not only brings it into an even situation with the man advantage for the T's, extended further by Jedgar, taking down 8-core, and it's all on Stush coming up behind, but it's being watched by Stomp as he peeks in. Stomp takes his head off, and it's 16 to 11 as we finish off map number 1. A very... well, I mean, a good comeback from Tricked in a way, but ultimately just not able to get the rounds clocked up there on the CT side, even despite winning the pistol round. It's unfortunate to see, but that's x-kom.